First off, I want to thank everybody for getting me to 400 subs. A large part of it over the weekend has been because of Bad Dog and Entertainer plugging my channel constantly on their channels, saying, sub this dude up, sub this dude up, sub this dude up. Especially my friend, The Sports Reaction. Now, I could go on and name a billion other people that have helped me get to this point, and I really want to. But thank you videos, I think, lose their luster when you're doing it every 100, every 50. I'm going to do a really thorough thank you video when I get to 500 subs. That was my plan. You know, 200, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, and then every 1,000 after that. Because I think if you keep doing them, they lose their luster. But again, if you've commented, liked, disliked, it doesn't matter. It's not lost on me. Today, I'm not going to rehash the Giants and Packers game. It's going to be the same talking points I've had since week 5. But what I am going to do is talk about the biggest culprit and the most overlooked culprit in Giants Nation. A person that is not called out enough. And yes, if you're one of those guys that want to blame Shurmur and blame Gettleman, I think you're small-minded. I'm not saying they don't deserve blame, and a large portion does fall on their shoulders. But that ship has sailed, and I'm not asking you to be patient with those guys anymore. I'm asking you to be patient with the next regime before it comes. Because John Mara's impatience, John Mara's lack of vision, John Mara's lack of trust in people below him is why we are in the situation we are. Or having trust in people he shouldn't, like a Jerry Reese. And the disgraceful firing of Tom Coughlin. John Mara's impatience, not realizing when he needs to rebuild, is why we are in the place we are. A lot of people want to blame that on Gettleman for not doing that in 2018. To me, that falls more on Mara's shoulders because the GM does what the owner wants. The owner wanted him to build around the team he had in 2018. That's why we didn't rebuild. That's why we didn't go get the Quentin Nelsons of the world. John Mara. Again, I'm not disregarding Dave Gettleman. A lot of blame, a lot of free agent moves are his. A lot of blame goes on him. But a lot of people are disregarding John Mara, and they should be calling him out more. Holding his foot to the fire, but we don't. Wellington is so much better than John. It's not even funny. John's not even half the man Wellington was. Wellington had patience in a city that had impatience. Wellington had vision when John doesn't. And for a lot of people who just want to sit there and blame coaching and say, it's coaching, Jeff, it's coaching. Get a better coach, we'll be fine. How come under 3 different coaches, at the end of Tom Coughlin's career, during Ben McAdoo, and now with Pat Shurmur, even though it's probably exacerbated under Pat Shurmur, more so than it was under the other two. Why can't we run the football? Why can't we open up holes for the run game and stop blitzes and stunts on the offensive line? Lack of good offensive line play. And the lack of a situational pass rush when needed. All 3 of those things have been the hallmark of bad Giants teams for the last 9 years. Under 3 coaches, yeah, you want to argue coaching. Or is it bad decision making from the top down? Let me ask you something. Do you trust John Mara? This is assuming we fire Dave Gettleman and fire Pat Shurmur. Do you trust Pat Shurmur to make the right decisions, go out and make the right hires? Because I'll tell you right now, the next GM, next coach, you limit your pool because you need somebody who's going to build around Daniel Jones. If not, you're taking a quarterback at the top of the draft. Don't tell me it's not a possibility. Arizona did it just last year. Are you comfortable with a Herbert? Are you comfortable with a Burrow? These are some of the questions you should be asking yourself. Stop being impatient and start expanding your mind. Do you think this is a desirable job it once was? Because the more you hire and fire coaches and GMs, guess what? You're saying to yourself, this isn't a stable place. You better turn it around fast. Yeah, people want to argue, the Giants' job is a great job. Once upon a time it was. Don't forget, you fire Shurmur, this is your 4th coach in what, 6 years? That's not good. Is this still a desirable job? I'd argue, no, it's not. You have an impatient owner, an impatient fan base, a brutal media. That takes a strong dude to come here and want to take this job and turn around this franchise. Yes, the publicity and the ability to turn around this franchise like a Parcells, yes, will go a long way for you. But you have to be willing to embrace that. And I don't think it's a desirable job it once was. These 3 factors that I've mentioned are some that Giants Nation really start thinking about if they want to win going forward. Either way, it's been One Giant Rebuttal. Please like and subscribe. And go Big Blue.